Everyone, welcome to your 5 minutes of mindfulness, where we talk about meditation and mindfulness and Dharma and different wisdom traditions and how that can help you live a more satisfying and fulfilled life. My name's Jeremy. I'm the guiding teacher at The Inner Vehicle, which is an online community where we meet every Tuesday night for online meditation. And I have a blog and podcast and now this video blog to help you get on your way with your spiritual journey. So I wanted to start the inaugural episode where I'm talking about a new way of thinking about FOMO. And FOMO is typically this idea of fear of missing out on all of the things that are happening out in the world. But I would say the more important FOMO, or the more important thing to look at, is the fear of missing out on your life. And it's funny because the actual FOMO of like worrying about what's going on out there is one of the biggest distractions from the fear of missing out on your own life and this internal life that you have of really paying attention to your inner world, your physical sensations, emotions, mental states, spiritual insights, all of the things that you can tune into through meditation and mindfulness, but most people aren't tuned into, and they're distracted by all of the other many things out in the world. It's not to say that those things are bad, but you need to have a balance between the external pursuits and really understanding, well, why am I doing these things? And the internal development and world of the spiritual path. And so I had a very strong feeling of this FOMO, more so than the FOMO of external events when I was younger, and I read a book called The Miracle of Mindfulness by Thich Nhat Hanh. He talks about the typical process of the way people eat an orange. You grab the orange. You're doing it because it's going to give you some pleasure, but you peel the peel without really paying much attention. You start taking apart the segments. You grab the first one, you're chewing it, but you're not really paying attention because you're thinking about getting the next segment. And you grab the second one and you throw that in your mouth, and you're thinking about the third one, and then maybe take two at a time, and you're essentially not enjoying each segment as it is. And I realized that had been how I lived my life up to that moment, where I was missing out on every moment because I was constantly thinking about the next thing I was going to be doing. Everything was a sequence. You got to get up in the morning, so you're brushing your teeth so that you can go have breakfast, or so that you can go get dressed, or so that you can go out the door, so that you can go do the next thing. And you're just missing the actual moment. And missing the moment is undesirable for two reasons. One is because it's like if you go to the movies and you're just like, you sit down and then, oh, I want to go get some popcorn. You go out and get the popcorn. You're missing the movie, right? So the end of the movie comes and you're like, you didn't even get to see it. So you might miss out on your life in that way. But also, if you are missing out on the moments of your life, you're not paying attention to your life, you're just going to keep doing things. There's a good chance you're going to keep doing things that create a life that you don't want. And so bad things will happen for you if you're not paying attention. Just like inattention can result in like spilling your coffee if you're not paying that kind of attention. In general, not paying attention to your inner world, it means your unconscious drives, all the fears and anxieties and guilt and grief and confusion and all the things that you experience inside start informing the actions that you take in the world. And so if you're not slowing down and paying attention, you're going to be motivated by these unpleasant emotions rather than positive ones and care. So that this missing out, the fear of missing out, is big on these two levels. So when I read that, I just committed right then and there to practice this meditation thing. So I got to do this thing every day, and I'm going to go on retreats and slow down. I'm going to do mindful walking. When I wash the dishes, I'm going to pay attention. And it's really hard. You have to train your mind to stay in the present moment because it keeps wanting to go back to the past or into the future. We've trained ourselves out of the present moment by constantly thinking about the next segment of orange. So hopefully this little image, even for you, has like inspired you to think like, oh, geez, like I don't want to miss out on my life. I don't want to look back and find out I missed out. And I don't want to look back and find out that I could have had a different life had I purified or clarified some of the unconscious drives. So take this inspiration and take that kind of FOMO and see if it motivates you to want to begin a meditation or mindfulness practice. All right, so that's our first episode. Hope it's helpful. Please leave the comments and the feedback and whatnot, and we'll talk to you soon.